Greetings, family. Go ahead, Val.
Peace and blessings.
Good morning, and good morning, Woo community. I'm so excited to be here. So grateful for the opportunity. Hey, folks, wake up. I'm woke. I'm woke and I'm grateful. I'm grateful. Learning every day, every moment. That's what life is all about, and that's what this community is all about. And I'm so excited to bring to you something that is near and dear to my heart. Welcome, Facebook, Al. Welcome, Facebook. Welcome for today's presentation. Again, I'm just grateful, excited, and thrilled to be here. Yes. Oh boy. Yes, what a joy. What a joy to be here. Thank you for the opportunity. Yeah. Getting started.
What do the participants need to bring for the session?
Yes, participants, please bring paper, pen or pencil, and bring an open heart, bring an open mind. Yes, that's what there is to bring. Yeah, so it's a great day.
Wake up, everybody. It's time to get up. Wake up, everybody. It's time to get up. Stay woke. Stay woke. Stay woke. It's time to get up. Stay woke. Stay woke. Stay woke. It's time to get up. We're healing, we're dealing, we're growing. Together, releasing. We're teaching, we're moving. Together, we're learning, discerning. We're striving. Together, we're leading, connecting, transforming. Together.
Good morning, Woo community. My name is Valerie Lyons. And let me just start off by saying I'm blessed. I'm blessed and I'm grateful. I am a career healer and a women empowerment coach and a power networker. And I'm so grateful to be here this morning to conduct this training / conversation with you titled Networking as a Way of Being. Oftentimes when we think about networking, we think about what there is to do. But in this training, in this workshop, in this conversation, I'd like for us to explore networking, not as what there needs to be done, but who we are being. I want to get to the root of networking. And the root of networking is who we are, our beliefs, our thoughts, what we believe about ourselves, what we believe about the world. It's about who we're being. So I hope you have a piece of paper and a pen, and let's get started. So I usually start all of my presentations with something around self-care. So I want us to start with taking this on to allow your mental health your spiritual health, and your physical health to lead you. And when I take this on, this helps to inform all of the decisions that I'm making in my life. So I just wanted to start with that and to offer that to you this morning. Yes, so networking starts with you, right? What do you think I mean when I say networking begins with you? Do we have folks in our Zoom room?
Yes.
Yes. Good morning. Good morning. So when I say networking starts with you, what do you think I mean?
This is Chantel. I think it means you taking the action. It starts with you, opening your mouth and talking to people and taking fear out of it and taking that risk so that you can grow your community and opportunities that can be waiting for you.
Thank you, Chantel. Excellent.
welcome.
Yes. Anyone else have any thoughts about what that means? Networking starts with you.
I believe it's your mindset and how you show up in the space.
To
One
connect with like-minded people.
1 second, please. 1 second, please. You'll hear me? There's 2 people talking over each other. There's 3 people that had their hands up. So if you want to speak, put your hand up. And the person that has their hand up next to go is Teresa.
It's how you present yourself, how you show up in the space, like with your motivation and your positivity. Actually even sometimes maybe how you look. Like you have that big, if you show up, you have a big personality, then show up with that big personality. Complete.
Really good. Thank you. Thank you. It's how you show up. And we'll take one more before we go on.
Okay, the 2 hands went down.
Okay.
Rachel had her hand up.
Okay, Rachel?
Thank you. Yeah, good morning, everybody. For me, I think networking is having the ability to connect with like-minded people, because you don't want to network with the wrong people, right? You want to network with the people that you connect with that have the same purpose as you do.
Yes. I want to add to that. You're right. You don't want to connect with the wrong people, but check this out. When you connect with the wrong people, that teaches you something too.
Absolutely.
That teaches you something too. So yes, you're absolutely right. On point, Nicole. Are you on your treadmill?
Yeah.
Do it, girl.
I work to balance it in.
Okay. That's great. All right. Did one more person have their hand up and then we can move on after that?
Yes, I saw Adam.
Adam.
Okay, good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
I just want to say that networking starts within yourself as far as taking ownership of who you are and what you put into your body and in a kind of lifestyle that you're leading that can attract what kind of people that is willing to work with you and what kind of people that you're scaring in the process. That's what I think about when I think about networking. It's all about ownership of yourself and the authority of your mind. And I'm complete.
Thank you, Adam. Great point. What you take in, what you put in your body, right? What you take in and how you treat your body. Because again, people, when you're engaging with people, you're engaging with their energy and they're engaging with yours. So you want to be mindful of what we take into our mind and we take into our bodies. So that's great. Okay, so let's go back to the slide for a second. Yeah, so we can go to the next slide. Yeah, what we take into our mind, the law of manifestation, right? So our thoughts, our beliefs, the things that we think about ourselves, the things that we think about, the way that we think about others has an impact on who we're being. So yes, like attracts like, and if you're thinking negatively, you're going to attract that. And it's about our beliefs and our values and who we're being, because our beliefs and our values show up in who we're being. So, for example, for those who may want to be in a romantic relationship, for instance, right? The question, are you being trusting? Are you being open? Are you being forgiving? Are you being that way? Are you being hopeful? Are you being sexy? Right? Who are you being? That is what will attract your partner, right? When it comes to work, right? Who are you being? Are you being dynamic? Are you being adventurous? Are you being trusting? You know, when it comes to networking, are you being trusting, right? So those thoughts translate into who you're being. Again, networking starts with who you're being, because that is what people sense about you when you connect with others. They sense your energy, they get your aura, they get your spirit, your soul. So that's why it's conscious for us. It's important for us to be aware of that, who we're being. Does anyone have any thoughts about that? Does that resonate with anybody?
All right, let me see. I'll call on some folks. Who's up in here? I'll share while we wait on someone else to chime in. So, this is part of my philosophy as well. And in the beginning, when I first learned this in the community that I was part of, a Landmark graduate, I didn't really get the concept of beingness, because I was a straight up do machine. And I say that with intentionality, a do machine. Just churning shit out. My nickname for myself, and Wake Up folks have heard me say this before, is worker beast. I can get a lot of stuff done, but when I'm not present to my beingness, it can be actions that are manipulation based, because you're talking about networking. So I'm around a lot of people, whether it's virtually or live. This weekend, I was around a bunch of folks, and I'm like, being connected is very important to me. And there was one woman that I spent a lot of time with, and I was very conscious of being authentic in the conversation, because when I started to slip into a space of trying to say something for say something's sake, I felt it in my physical body. When I'm fully present, I'm grounded, my heart is open, the information and communication flows with ease out of me. But when I'm trying to make something happen, trying to be witty, engaging in the doing of that, it lands, but it doesn't stick and stay, and there's not a reciprocal exchange. And I can fool people, so I have to be very, very conscious of how I show up.
Thank you, Shawnee. And you know, what you're speaking to also is having a sense of a self-assuredness and a confidence within yourself. Being comfortable in your own skin makes a difference in how you show up to other people. Yes, Facebook family, I don't know whether you're sharing, but I hope that you are putting in your thoughts or sharing your thoughts around this topic.
I'll take a read of some of the things in the chat. Not much yet. So there, to something you mentioned earlier, Joy says you're taking charge. And Aaliyah, she says there was a mention earlier, question, what does networking with wrong folks reach you? What does that mean?
What does networking with wrong folks teach you? Well, first of all, when you really get that it's important for you to be aligned with what other people are aligned with, similar values. So for instance, you might be networking with somebody and there's a gig, they have a job opportunity, they have an opportunity for you to provide a service, right? But there's something about them that doesn't quite click for you. However, you want the money, right? So you go ahead and you do the gig, but as you're doing it, you're recognizing, you know what? This is not a fit. And I knew it wasn't a fit, but I didn't trust my instinct. I didn't trust my gut. So what does that teach you? Trust your gut. Trust your instinct, right? So sometimes those experiences make a difference for us because they teach us to trust ourselves, to not second guess ourselves, to know that we know what's best. So that's an example that I would offer.
Okay, thank you. And Rachel?
What I wanted to say for me.
Sorry. Go ahead.
Of empowering others, and I truly wasn't empowered, so I couldn't align. I couldn't align with certain like-minded people because I was not there yet. I had tons of work to continue to do, which I still do. Don't get me wrong. However, I'm further than I was, and I thought I was further than I was then. So, you know, there was no alignment to connect truly, because I was still like trying to be in a teaching space and really preach, not what I practice.
Well, you know what? This is when we give ourselves grace, because we are constantly evolving and coming into our own, knowing what's most important. When I really got, you can't put a price tag on your peace of mind. When I really got that, I was clear. I was clear. A gig is good, but not at the cost of my peace of mind. No, not at all. So yes. Knowing thyself.
And Cheryl Martinez, your hand is up.
Good morning, family.
Good morning.
I wanted to say, when you talked about just kind of trusting yourself, because in life in general, I can tend to be the one that second guess, like, should I, or, you know, and just in that type of person. But I started a business with a friend of mine, and it was something that I was really passionate about. And she came in and, you know, we agreed to start this business. But as things started to develop, I just kept getting red flags. And I'm always saying, show me a sign, show me a sign. And I'm getting all these signs and I'm like, I just can't ignore them. And I dissolved the partnership. And unfortunately, the friendship hasn't, you know, survived it. But I just had to trust myself, you know, regardless.
Yes, I acknowledge you for trusting yourself inside of being uncomfortable. See, it's the discomfort that sometimes dissuades us from doing the thing that's important to do. And you did it. And the friendship, there was a consequence. And check this out. You don't know, that friendship may be surface or not. You know, we know that people are sometimes in our lives for a season. But you did what was important to do, because ultimately with those red flags, it would have just blown up. You knew that. So good for you. You didn't second guess yourself that time.
Yes. And I'm trying to stick with that now.
Good for you. Good for you. And I want to also say, we can be bound from a second guess. So I have it that you may have second guessed yourself initially, and then you got over your daggone self and recognized that you know what's best. Good for you. Good for you, honey.
I appreciate you.
Yes.
Okay, we do have a Facebook comment from Martine.
Okay.
She says, Grand Rising, will family, I heard that. I believe in good money. Not all money is good money. That part.
Got it. That's great. Yes.
Oh.
All right. And was there another chat message?
It's reinforcement. So Tanine says all money is green or plastic, but all money is not good money. There's an energy connected to financial exchange.
Yes. Great. Thank you. Thank you all for your sharing and your contribution. All right, let's go back to that slide. Let's see where we are. Go back to the next slide. Yeah, so networking. This is the internal work, right? We know when it comes to the external work, it's the, getting the pitch, how are you going to present your business, how are you going to present yourself. It's the presentation, you know, if you're going to a networking event, it's what am I wearing? How am I going to show up, right? You may have a CV or you may have a bio, right? And by the way, I know in my business, I think I have like 3 or 4 versions of a bio. Just note to self. Sometimes you have to tailor your bio for a particular audience or for a particular organization. So it's having, those are the things to do, right? Now we're going to talk about the internal work, okay? So first, abundance versus scarcity. This is about mindset, right? So much of life is around mindset. How do I see the world? How do I see myself in the world? Abundance versus scarcity, right? Who wants to just take on what that means in terms of networking? How does an abundance mindset make a difference for you?
Let's call on Tanine. Do you want to take this on, sis? Extending an invitation. Abundance versus scarcity.
Sure. Good morning. I
Good
can't come
morning.
on camera right now, but I can speak. Um, an abundance mindset is a mindset that is void of, I call it like a deficit. And when you live in abundance, you are consciously aware that everything that you need, you already have, and it's coming to you. So you don't live in fear or doubt or desperation of any sort. When you walk into a room, when you're meeting with people, when you're in anyone's presence, you already bring abundance with you because you know that everything you need, you have, and you're going to be taken care of. You're just waiting for the manifestation, but it's an energy that you carry. A scarcity mindset, at the core of that is really fear. And when we fear, there's resistance. And when there's resistance, we actually push away the things that we want because there's resistance. So we're creating more space in between what we want and where we are instead of drawing it to us because we really don't believe in the depths of our being that we can have it. Yeah.
Well, great.
Yeah.
Great.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much. Thank you so much for your contribution. Yes, abundance. Abundance is that we have it all. It's all there for us, right? Yeah, and that we don't have to fear that there's not enough, because there is. And you said it best. So thank you so very much. Yes, so let's go back to the slide. Let me see what's next. Yeah, and I want to hear from you all because I know you all have something to say. Everyone in this group is powerful and insightful. I've been following you all, so I know, you know. So when we think about the internal work again, how does our relationship with ourselves impact on the ability to engage with others, right? How does our relationship with ourselves impact on our ability to impact with others and relate and connect with others, right? You know, I'm going to just say that oftentimes when we think about networking, it's building relationships with others. My question to you, what is your relationship with yourself? Are you feeling like are you bringing the value? Are you identifying and living inside of your own value, right? So, do I believe that I have the skills to make a difference for somebody else? Or do I believe my work makes a difference in other people's lives, right? So if I were to ask you, and just one person could share, how would you define your relationship with yourself? Would you say that you're your best friend? Would you say that?
Teresa has her hand up.
Yes, Teresa.
Good morning, Ms. Val. So happy to see you here.
Good to see you
Um,
too.
I feel like I'm in the process of healing the different things that I had about myself. And so the doubt is coming up, but I'm still not stopping. And even like the other day, I met with someone and I realized that, yes, he was talking about I need my list of a Chinese list of what I need to do, for my business. And so that encouraged me, even just being on here this morning. It was like I went to bed very exhausted, but I was like, I want to be honest, I want to be honest. And so my body just woke up and I was just thankful, that I was able to wake up on time and be here. So just having that mindset of just speaking to myself about what I want to do changes, like my whole atmosphere about when I'm showing up in a room. So I'm healing and I am loving on myself much better. So that makes me show up better and I'm complete.
Good for you, Teresa. I mean, the deal is that, we're human beings on the planet Earth, right? So we're going to have doubts. But to what extent are we going to allow those doubts to keep us down, to immobilize us, right? So it's giving ourselves grace. It's always giving ourselves grace. It's always the extent to which we're willing to forgive ourselves. This again is our relationship with ourselves. Are we willing to forgive ourselves, right? Because that creates a space and an opportunity for us to engage. It certainly creates a space for us to forgive others. So yes, our relationship with ourselves, please just take time to develop and to really be in touch with and to be mindful of that relationship that you have with yourself. Okay. Let's see. We are all connected, right? So I see Candace, I can't read her chat, but I don't know if anyone else can.
Yeah, I'll take this on and I want to read what Anna Palmer wrote before Candace's share.
Okay.
Your mindset is what manifests your goal. You have to believe you can reach your goal. This is Anna's share. When you believe it, you can achieve it. A positive attitude makes all the difference. Your energy attracts others.
Yes.
Yeah, and Candace said, I am now my own best friend. I treat myself to treats and fun. I love loving on myself now more than ever. I am forgiven for all wrongs. Or she got affirmations up in here.
I love it.
Yeah, and Tanine just shared, Valerie, that's one of my favorite words. Grace is an act of kindness and compassion. Grace is critical for our overall wellness. Thank you, Valerie. And she said, yes, Candace. All right.
Yes. Thank you. Yes. This may be off the point, but I want to share this to you. For those this kind of connects, but I felt just the need to share. You know how someone, you go out to dinner with a friend and that friend says, you know what, I got the bill, I'll take it. I don't know if there's any of you that say, no, I got it. Oh, not me. I say, thank you, right? That's giving myself the gift of a gift. And it's a blessing when we can receive other people's gifts, right? Sometimes we feel uncomfortable receiving gifts. That's another thing. It does connect with networking because you know what? The gifts are bountiful. And the more accustomed you get to saying thank you when someone compliments you on what you have on, sometimes, and this may be a generalization about women, but sometimes with women, you say, I like that dress or I like that blouse. This old thing, I only paid $5 for it. Or we minimize. No, receive the blessings with grace. And you'll see how other blessings just show up. Don't block it. Okay, just wanted to share. Felt the need to share that for some reason. Yes. So I guess we can go back to the slide because we got a couple of things and I want to hear from folks too. Oh, networking. And this is in life in general. Leave your past in the past, which is not always easy. It's not always easy. Leaving your past in the past. You had a bad experience with a coworker, colleague. You had a bad experience networking. You felt uncomfortable. You felt out of place. You felt like it was, I don't know. it was too salesy for you. You didn't like it. Leave it in the past. Start fresh. Life is about starting life newly, taking on a whole new approach, a whole new way. Can anybody relate to that? Leaving the past in the past? It can be challenging, but you can train yourself to do it. Trust and believe. Anyone have any thoughts on that?
Marilyn has her hand up.
Yes.
Good morning. Good morning. Blessings to all.
Good morning.
Yes, I could relate to that wholeheartedly. Before so I lost my father when I was 10 years old. And I kind of went through life kind of upset at him for passing. Because then when I moved out, I went from dead-end job to dead-end job to dead-end job. And I always felt like, well, if he was alive, I know he would have taught us, to go to school, because he went to college, he was a teacher, save money, he would have helped us, or like set these goals. And I always kind of like held on to that. And like when his anniversary from his death always came around, that mindset always came up again. And then I always felt like, okay, you know what? At some point, I came to a realization that, you know what, his passing put me in a path for my self-discovery, for myself to kind of evolve and not rely on so much what happened with him. And I kind of feel like I say I forgive him, but I forgive myself also for allowing myself to feel like that towards him, because it wasn't his fault that he passed. And since I let go of that, I took ownership of where my life is, where I'm at right now, and what I need to do to go forward. And I feel at a better place. I feel that like my wheels are turning, and I'm no longer relying on, well, he should have been here to teach me these things. No, I'm learning along the way. It has been rough. I have fallen, but I've learned to get up, and it has made me a better person, and it has built me to the person that I am today. So I am grateful for it, actually.
Wow. Thank you so much. What a beautiful, powerful share that was.
Thank you.
You know what I got? I got chills just now. I got your father's guiding you. How about that?
Yes, amen.
I got that he is guiding you, supporting you, loving you, proud of you, and just wanting the very, very best for you. Oh my God, that was so beautiful. Thank you so much. And that's a perfect example, trauma, crisis, blame, and the power of forgiveness. And just getting that I'm here. What can I do? Right? Beautiful. Thank you so much for that share. It was beautiful.
Rachel's hand is up.
Yes.
Rachel's hand is up. Oh, Rachel, where'd you go? I can't find you now.
Okay, and Facebook, I don't know, I can't see you, so I'm hoping you're engaged. I'm hoping there's something here for you. I'm hoping that you're sharing. I'm hoping that you're thinking and applying, how this information could impact on you and your ability to network and enhancing your ability to network. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Okay.
Okay, Rachel's here. She wants to say
Yes,
something.
sorry. So what I was saying is, the cliche saying of forgive but never forget, right? And that always stuck in my head. So I had wrote like a little quote, and it says, forget and always forgive. The opposite of what everyone says. If you don't forget, you can't forgive, because the things you have been through will always be in the back of your head. Trust will be hard, and pain you will fear, never letting anyone close to you near. So that was something that, because I always thought everybody's like, oh, forgive, but never forget. I had to forget in order to move on. I had to forget the pain and the things that betrayal, because I wouldn't have trusted anybody moving forward. And
wow. Rachel, thank you so much, honey. I felt that. I'm feeling you on your treadmill, sharing your poetry. Okay, thank you. That was a powerful share, powerful poem as well. Okay. So trusting yourself and trusting others. We talked about that in creating and enhancing and really being intentional on creating our relationship and in our relationship with ourselves, right? There's trusting ourselves, right? That plays out, that shows up. Trusting yourself and trusting others. Some of us have a hard time trusting others because others have hurt us. Sadly, but honestly, that is the human condition, right? The human condition is that we're gonna hurt people. You hurt people, right? I hurt people. I know there's different levels of pain and there's different levels of hurt. But sometimes when we get hurt, we lose trust, right? So what there is to do is to regain that ability to trust, and first trusting ourselves, trusting our just judgment, trusting our wisdom, trusting our knowing, and then giving ourselves the opportunity, because it's an opportunity to trust others. I want to hear from anyone who can really identify if that resonates. How is it an opportunity to trust others? How does that show up as an opportunity?
Janine is in chat. She says, we have a harder time trusting others because we have also betrayed ourselves and we lose trust in our ability to take good care of ourselves.
Right, which is why that self-care comes into play, right? The healing. Teresa talked about that earlier. I think it was Teresa talked about healing. When we talk, many of us are healers, right? And when we talk about healing, it starts with us. The healing, the wounds and the pains of the past, right? That could allow us to open our heart to others, right? And the opportunity, right? I don't know if anyone had anything to say about that. What is the opportunity in trusting others? The opportunity is that there may be opportunities that show up, an opportunity for friendship, an opportunity for connection, an opportunity for comfort, for support, right? An opportunity for a gig, right? Trusting others allows us to connect with others. Connecting others opens up the door for opportunities to show up in our lives, right? I know some people had some things in the chat. I don't know if anyone wants to share.
So, Aisha on Facebook, she says, I love myself. I talk to self all the time. I show love by self-care practices and I try to make decisions for the betterment of myself and my family. Excuse me.
Thank you.
And yeah, that's about it.
Very good. Thank you. Thanks. Okay. Yeah, so let's go back to the slide. Just going to go through that and see what we can discover. Yeah, really getting who you are. This is the internal work, right? Really getting who you are as a contribution. I talked about that a little earlier. Like really getting your superpower, right? In the chat, right? On Facebook. What is your superpower? What is that thing about you that stands out, that's unique, right? What is your superpower? Really getting yourself as a contribution, right? That's what there is. I'm a connector. I know that's a superpower that I have. I'm a connector, right? I see myself as someone who brings joy to people, and I provide a space for people to get their authentic selves, right? So getting who you are as contribution comes before other people can get you as a contribution, right? Yes. So I'm not sure the time is now because I'm on my phone. I can't, if it's
7:49 is what I have.
7:49, okay. So we want to be mindful of time. I know this is going to go longer, right? So at 8, we'll just acknowledge that, but I just wanted to check in because I can't see the time. Thank you. Yes. What are people's superpowers? Are people putting in the chat what their superpower is? Facebook, are you sharing what your superpower is?
There might not be very many people on Facebook. So when the messages do wind up in this chat, I did read a couple. So we'll
Okay,
see what they say about superpower. Joy
okay,
says her superpower is helping others, and she's right here in the space. And
yes.
Candace says we often don't realize that what we get is what we put out and expect. Candace, what's your superpower? Joy says Joy adds, my superpower is my hands. All right. Cheryl says my superpower is being a nurturing empath.
Mm,
Rachel says having the understanding and purpose to share transparency without shame. Candace says her superpower is love.
ah,
Zakia says loving. And Shawnee says voice, her voice. Tanine says helping others and intercession. Anna says creativity. And Chantel says making people laugh and nurture.
beautiful, beautiful. Folks are clear, right? And that way of your superpower shows up in your way of being. And that is also what attracts folks, right? And really shows up in your networking. When you're connecting with others, they can sense it because that's who you're being. And that makes a difference. So good for you. Beautiful, beautiful share. Thank you so much. Yes, okay. Let's see. Okay, making requests with no attachment, right? That's also great. It's great for us as entrepreneurs, great for us who are looking for work in other ways, right? Make a request. I'm not attached to whether it's a yes or no. I'm gonna make that powerful request for this gig. I'm gonna put together a proposal that's been on my heart. I'm gonna create this proposal. I'm gonna be clear and bold about what I'm charging folk, because I know my value. I know that I am a contribution, right? So that has me not second guess what I'm going to charge folk, right? And I'm going to put this proposal and I'm going to send it out to folks who I know who work in agencies. My background is working in the substance abuse treatment agency. So I'm going to identify the VPs who work in these various agencies, right? And I'm going to send it to them, right? Because I know that it's something of value. Whether they say no is not the point for me. It's taking action, right? When you make requests with no attachment, it frees you up to make powerful requests because you're not necessarily tied to the yes, right? Somebody wants to share. Tanine.
Okay, Tanine.
Hi, Val. I wanted to share about the process of coming into that mindset. When you're first starting your company or you have a fresh idea, a creativity, we are in the mindset, we're excited, we're creative, and we just want to share everything with the world because, it's like our baby. So the creative mindset is one mindset, but the business mindset, you have to shift gears. We have to get into the business part of it. And that can be a little hard for creative people. I'm talking about myself also. And we have to really sit down with ourselves and ask the questions. What am I worth? What is my worth work? What do it take for me to put in the time and the effort to give to people? And then the mindset is also, I'm providing a service or I have a product to share with the world. What is it worth? But it's in connection to what you said earlier, our relationship with ourselves, how we see ourselves, but really having these deep conversations with ourselves to actually see what we think about our own worth in connection to our product and our service, and how we actually approach it and really put ourselves out there in the world. And for me, it was getting comfortable. So comfortable with saying, you know what? You are the bomb and you have something really great to offer that people need. You have answers for people, you have products for people, and you are a really hard worker. You put a lot of effort into what you do because you want to do things in excellence, and that's worth a lot. So what's the price? And I would sit down with my pen and paper and really write out things. And I would think about my experiences in life. There's a lot of things that I know how to do. There's things, you know, you get different price points of what you get paid for different contracts. And then I would also think about, well, what's on the market? What are people charging for things? What's happening? And then I would come up with my price. And then each year, as I would make a different shift in maybe a service that I provide, or I would add a different package or add a extra bonus or something, I would increase the price by a little bit because everything goes up every year. So I just wanted to share that the biggest part of my share is actually getting comfortable with what you're charging and having the right mindset around, I'm getting paid for a service that I'm providing. So in exchange for my time and my effort, people are paying to get something from me. Thank you.
Great point. And I want to add to that. What you said, some great tips and advice. You know, as an entrepreneur, we're grounded in our craft. That's what we know. And so you spoke about the business mindset, which is a whole nother set of skills. And not for nothing, sometimes that's when hiring a business coach comes into play, or connecting with somebody who can coach you. And some folks are really skilled at bartering services, which I've become very good at that. So I wanted to also say that we can have it all, but it doesn't mean we have to do it all. And sometimes it means creating support, networking, and connecting with others that can provide us with a service that we cannot provide for ourselves or don't have the time to provide for ourselves. So I just wanted to add that. Yes. So are we at the top of our hour?
Almost, it's 7:57.
Okay, so, all right, so let's see. The last line on the slide, which I can't see because I'm on my phone, says what?
Power of possibility.
Power of possibility. Yes, connected with the abundance mindset. Believing in possibility means that I'm believing in anything and everything that's available to me, that what I want, that it's possible that I can have that gig. It's possible I can travel the world. One of my visions for my life is that when I work full time, by the way, at Hunter College. You know, I'm a career empowerment coach. I have my own business, career healer, and I work full time at Hunter College. And I have a 3 to 5 year plan. And my plan when I leave Hunter is that I sell everything that I have or give it away, and I travel for a year. Right? I travel for a year, and I stay with people that I know that live in different parts of the country and the world. I believe in possibility. I believe it's possible. It's possible for me to do this, right? I'm creating this vision for my life. And this is what I walk into this future. This is a future that is fulfilled. Yes, standing in the future fulfilled. Thank you, Landmark. Standing in the future fulfilled. It's happening now. I'm traveling the world now. So yes, I believe in possibility. And that's what I'm offering to you, that is part of the internal work in networking. Thank God, I will always have a job. I think I'm going to start crying. I will always have work. I will always have a roof over my head. I believe that, I believe that, not out of any, ego. It's not ego, right? It's in my heart. It's what I know, right? And I'm grateful. That's why I always, when people ask me, how are you, Val? I say, I'm grateful because I know that to be true. Yes, I'm a crier. Those who know me know that, because I get in touch with my feelings and it just comes right out. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. So
Let me
let's go.
read a comment from Anna in the chat, and it's just reached 8 o'clock.
Yes.
So maybe make that announcement and then I'll read Anna's message.
Okay, so it's 8 o'clock, community. Oh, I know that some of you have to step off, right now. I hope that some can continue to stay on a little longer. But if you have to go, I get it. Thank you so much for showing up powerfully, for contributing to this conversation. I wish you all so much love, all the best, right? So I hope to see you again. I'll be joining the conversations going forward, and I hope to connect with you again. Yes, thank you.
All right, contact information will be dropped in the chat if it hasn't already. Anna says, wow, that was powerful because I thought you were supposed to be attached, but that might be my problem because I felt disappointment, pain, and rejection when they said no. So if you aren't attached, it frees you up not to lament over it, just to keep.
Yes, it was you made your effort. Listen, this is a powerful lesson I learned along the way from a coach, right? That, making the distinction between, outcome and, I forgot what it was, but being clear that sometimes it's the action that you're taking, not always the outcome, right? The action that you're taking, not always the result. That's the powerful thing to acknowledge, the effort that you've made, the steps that you've taken, right? That's to be acknowledged, your accomplishments, right? Versus the result, right? So celebrate yourself for the accomplishments that you make. The results are wonderful. Always celebrate the accomplishments. Whew, all right. So let me see if we can go back to the slide. Yeah, so the next slide. Yes. We're going to go through this kind of quickly, right? This is busting some networking myths, right? Because we have a lot of feelings and thoughts about networking, right? Myth 1, networking is salesy, right? People can either share, you want to share, one person could share what that, if that shows up for you, that networking presents as salesy. Does anyone have any thoughts on that?
I do. Greeting. Oh,
yes.
Sorry. Salesy, or I would say phony. I remember, and I remember I was talking. I don't know. I went to some type of webinar about networking, and my question was, how do you not show up phony? And when I say phony, meaning like you really here just to kind of make the connection for your business or for your education, but it's just like, oh boy, now I gotta, walk the walk, talk the talk. Salesy, aka phony, because you don't really feel like doing it. You're just here just to kind of achieve your goal. Or is that even phony? Right? So I don't know. And
yes, thank you for sharing. So oftentimes when we're networking, we think we got to present something, right? So networking, if you can reframe it, right? It's not salesy, it's sharing. You're just sharing who you are, what you're up to, right? Just sharing, as opposed to promoting, selling. I mean, you are selling your services, right? But you can do it in a way that's authentic, where you're just sharing who you are powerfully to people. So it's just reframing, right? So I'm not going to go through all of these things. I don't think we have enough time, but what I want to do is just touch on them so that you can get it, because I know we have another section that I want to cover before we close. Okay, so we can go back to the slides. I'll just touch on them. Maybe I'll come back and do something more thorough. That might be something to do. Okay, so myth 2, networking takes a lot of time. I'm just going to hit these, right? Does that work? That I just hit these points so we can move on? Networking doesn't take a lot of time. networking could take 5 minutes to make a powerful call with intention, right? It's the procrastination that takes a lot of time. Sometimes we resist making that call to that person who we met because we're in our heads about it, right? But it takes 5 minutes to make a powerful call, right? Some folks think myth 3 is I can't call that person because it's been too long since we last spoke, right? I don't know in the chat, I don't know how many people are still here, but in the chat, does anyone have those fears or thoughts around calling somebody you haven't talked to, if it's been a month or it's been a year or 2 years, 5 years? Has anyone had that thought, I can't call that person I met at this event because I know, as you said, I do, right? No, so that's common, right? That is common, right? But what can happen when we call that person we haven't talked to in a while? What is the possibility that can show up in reaching out to somebody who we haven't talked to in a minute?
So there's a couple of hands up. Spoke already, so I'm going to ask Chantel to share, and then after that, Danny Mo.
Oh, thank you, Kenyofu. So I'm started working with this enrollment marketing recruitment firm in the beginning of COVID because I work for a charter school, and so we were trying to figure out how can we do recruitment virtually. Oh, okay, start the camera. Thanks a lot. Sorry, it's a little dark back here. So we started working together because he was holding webinars on doing recruitment virtually for charter schools. And it was really great. He asked me to come back and help him present on another webinar. And then after like a year and a half, I reached out because I prayed on more contracts and consulting opportunities. And I was like, you gotta take this leap of faith. He came up on my LinkedIn and I was like, let's see what they're doing. And at first he was like, I don't know if we have any space for you, but I really love the connection that we made. And now he has me developing his learning and development division of the organization. So it was amazing. And like you said, acknowledging yourself for your actions. I think, I'm so thankful that I made the call, even though it was a year and a half, and he found a place for me. And now I'm flourishing there and helping to build out the tools and this whole division of his company. So I just wanted everyone to know, like, there's not a time limit. If people remember you and how you made them feel and they have an opportunity for you, then they're going to share it with you.
Powerful, wonderful, congratulations.
Thank you.
That's a beautiful thing. It could be a surprise.
Yes, it was.
Yes, which a wonderful, wonderful surprise. I want to also add, any connection that you make, this is how I see any connection that I make is a connection for life. It's a connection for life. So I don't dismiss any connection that I've made, because once it's made, as far as I'm concerned, it's done, right? I can always go back to it. So thank you so much for that. Oh, that's a wonderful show. Love it. So let's go back. Let me see, because I want to.
Here's Danny Mo. Danny Mo had her hand up.
Okay, no problem. Let's hear.
Okay, Danny.
I know she's in another country, so I'm not sure if the reception, if the Wi-Fi disconnected. You still see her in the participant list? I don't. She bounced off. She's in, I think, Antigua.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Networking in Antigua.
I love it. Okay. I guess we
Maybe
can
she'll
go
come back on. If she does, we'll jump in. If not, you can carry on.
Okay, no problem. Okay. Myth 4. I don't know anybody. Well, that's certainly a myth. See, what it is we know a lot of people. We don't always count these people in. Sometimes we think we have to know people that are in the particular industry that we want to enter, but you don't know who the people know, right? So you don't want to count anybody out. When you look at your sphere of influence, when you look at your family, your friends, your colleagues, the groups that you're engaged in, the communities that you're engaged in, if you're a parent and your child is in school, the other parents, the parents of the children It goes on. And how about this? The stranger. I've disappeared the concept of stranger too, so that's another thing. But the person who you meet when you're out and about, who you don't know, are you willing to engage people, to share with people, to let people know what you're up to be curious about people, to be curious about who this person is, what they have to say, right? So networking, the opportunity to network with people is, again, inside of a space of abundance and a mindset of abundance. You know, the world is your network. Yes. And not for nothing, just so you know, whoever's here, you're part of my network. How about that? I consider you part of my network, right? And if you need me, or if you want to connect with me, I'll be, sharing my contact information. Please reach out. And when people offer, give you the opportunity to extend an opportunity to reach out. What the heck, right? All right, I don't know if anyone had a hand or wanted to share. We can move on if not. Yes. Yes, let's see. So the chat is coming up on my, okay. So last myth, I don't want to be a bother. All right. This is something that many people feel, and I'll have to say women. I work with women, so it comes up a lot. Don't want to impose, don't want to appear to be intrusive, don't want to be a bother. We need to disappear. I don't want to be a bother with, I want to provide people with an opportunity to really get my value because I'm a contribution. The other thing about networking is it's not just about me. If I'm networking with people, it's about, I'm listening for opportunities for myself, for my community, for my connections, for my folk, people I coach, right? I'm looking at an opportunity for the person I'm networking with, right? So I'm not a bother, I'm a contribution. That's how I see myself as a networker. It's a way of being, right? I don't know if that resonates with anybody or anyone has anything to share.
I definitely want to jump in here. This is something that I teach a lot, and Val and others in the space can speak about their experience of how it is received. I am so clear in me about what being part of collectives can provide, volunteerism. I feel like there's more gold and currency in the level of networking and connections that I have than the actual contracts that I get that pay me money. I'm we get caught up a lot, like how I utilize my time and engage with people. Like there's so much gold to be mined when you're part of collectives and you're doing work. Like people are like, well, I'm not getting paid for this. I'm like, yo, leverage, not use, but utilize the space that you're in, so that there's equity there. And equity is not always about dollars and cents. When I think about what my network has provided me as I've mourned my major losses in my life, my network has covered and girded me up and kept things that I was working on going while I healed. And that was better than any dollars and cents that I could have ever gotten. My network has carried me. And you mentioned about lifetime connections. I cannot speak to someone for years, but because of how I've been with them over the course of our relationship, when I do reach out, we pick right back up. And the other piece is, when I do reach out, because of how I've been, there is no hesitancy about jumping in and creating a space for them to do stuff with me, for me. It's amazing. And we miss the mark when we're only focused on money. I can't speak about that enough. It's an issue, but we've been taught to be that way.
Well, you said so much. And I want to also say that, you and I connected after not having really talked in a couple of years.
Yes.
But I know who you are. You know who I am. I didn't miss a beat to reach out. And I'm so grateful I did, because again, this is the opportunity that shows up. Not just this, but just knowing you because of who you are, so powerful. You also spoke about Being of service translates into goals. Being of service makes a difference, and it also helps you expand your network, your willingness to give. You got to be careful you don't overextend, right? Because that happens. But that counts. That counts. Being of service helps you to create that network. Yes. Did anyone else have anything before we move on? I know we're not going to finish this. This is great, though.
Right.
All
So
right.
So I'm caught between calling on Teresa, who spoke a couple of times, and moving on in with the slides.
How much time do we have?
Well, we are sliding for 8:15, but we can color. We also came in late.
Yeah.
So we can color blur the lines and then move on as we need to.
All right. So
yeah, let's Coach, we can hear from Teresa, I think.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you the question, you said you're a career healer? And I want understanding of that career healer.
Yes, thank you for asking. Thank you for asking, Teresa. Yes, work can be traumatizing. We can get our feelings hurt at work, right? Not being treated well by your employer, working too hard, getting burnt out, not really, so a lot can happen in work. Work can be a very traumatizing experience. We spend so much time at work, right? I also, because my target audience is women in the 50 plus age range, I also say this to folks. If you're 50 plus and you're still in the workforce, I know that somewhere along the line, you've been beat up and beat down. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. So my working as career healer really is around providing a space for people to heal through the trauma that they may have experienced on the job. Getting terminated can really knock you off your feet, emotionally, spiritually, mentally, right? How do you rebound from a termination, particularly for people that over-identify with work? It's like, I don't have work, so who am I now, right? So yes, that's what I mean when I talk about being a career healer. I didn't mention my credentials. I'm a licensed mental health counselor. I'm a coach. I'm a certified rehabilitation counselor, and I'm a human being with a heart. I'm a human being with a heart that creates a space for people to feel loved and grateful and know that there's an opportunity to rebound and reinvent themselves and create a career or life that they love. So that's who I am. Thank you for asking, Teresa.
Thank you so much, Mr. I appreciate it.
Yes, Teresa. Right. So I'm going to skip this slide. I'm going to go to the next slide. This is my definition, and I may need help reading it because my picture is over the top portion.
Okay. No worries, I can read it.
Thank you.
Power networking is grounded in intention and a commitment to serve. It is the ability to build mutually beneficial relationships with individuals and/or groups with the goal of enriching the personal and professional lives of others while achieving one's own goal or dream.
I can pick it up. Power networking is an expression of love, community, and gratitude. It manifests itself as a co-created miracle for yourself and others, right? That's what networking means to me. It's an opportunity to connect with other people, to build a mutually beneficial relationship. It's not just about what I want. What do you want? I'm curious about what you want, right? It's not just what I want. What's my community asking for? What can I listen for that can help my community or myself, right? It's to enhance the personal and professional lives of others while I achieve my own goals. I don't want to leave myself out, but the opportunity may not be for me. It's an expression of love, right? Community and gratitude. Gratitude that I'm connected. Gratitude that you're giving me an opportunity to connect with you. it manifests itself as it's co-created. It's a miracle. It's a miracle that what can show up in connecting with people, right? What can show up for me, what can show up for others, I see it as a miracle. So that's my definition. It takes out the sales, it takes out I have to do. It's all about the being, the loving, and the joy and the gratitude that shows up in networking. Yes. Anyone have any comments on that before, or should we just move on time-wise?
Well, we can. So Danny Mo is back in the space. Danny, are you still open to sharing? And does anyone else would like to contribute? Danny. Okay, maybe she's not in the position.
Okay, all right, so we can move on. Oh, she's not able to speak, she said, yeah, okay. Okay, so your career narrative, also known as your pitch, right? So it's a way of talking about your career that emphasizes your unique qualities and the value your experience brings. So again, also in some places known as your pitch, I call it pitching your passion, but it's really just around how do you share about who you are? Sharing what makes you unique, right? What problems are you solving? And this is important when you're looking at a potential gig, job, opportunity, really checking in. How do your work values and your life values, do they align? Do your life values or work align with the potential work that's showing up for you, right? I know one of my work values, maybe, I don't know if people want to put in the chat, what's a work value for you? One of my work values is flexibility. I don't want to feel like I'm, at a desk. I can't, do other things. I can't go to other events or meetings, or I can flex my hours. That's important to me, right? People putting in a chat what's important to them in terms of and that's a life value. Really wanting flexibility. I like to mix it up in my life. So I love a job that allows me to do different things that's diverse, right?
Shawnee says her work value is innovation and co-creation.
Yes.
And Danny Mo typed in the chat what she was going to share. And as if you haven't spoken to someone in a while, it actually gives space to talk and catch up because there's actually things to talk about. Mm-hmm. It actually ends up flowing right into what you may want to share in the first place. And she says, and clearly actually is my favorite. Okay. She's laughing at herself. She hears herself saying actually quite a lot.
Okay, all right.
Deneen says work values, leisure and follow up. And Andrea says flexibility.
Yes, yes. So it's important to know these values, which are values, typically your work values, you want to see your life values aligned with your work values, because that's when it really, that's when you find satisfaction in what you're doing, right? Thank you for sharing, everybody. Yes. So let's see. Okay. So again, your career narrative, when you're potentially networking with someone, how did you get to your present career? How can you move from the present to your next career? And then the last point, which I can't see.
It says, give an example that supports your skills, values, and/or abilities.
Right. So sometimes people will say, I can overcome, I can work under pressure. I'm really good working under deadlines and pressure. It's not enough to say it. You want to give an example. You want to say, you know what, not for nothing, during this pandemic, when I had to make some quick shifts in the way that I provided services, I was able to move very quickly to the virtual world. And it was a lot of pressure because I was so used to presenting in person. But I made that shift and it made a difference in terms of my business. So you want to mention something that you're really great at, but but you also want to give an example that supports your word, right? So that's really, really important. I want to ask a question. What would you say is a powerful question to ask when you're engaging in when you're meeting somebody for the first time in networking? What is a question you might ask the person? Because the question, oh shoot.
Okay, Valerie, we hear you.
Okay, good, because I was getting a call.
Mhm.
All right, I can add that I would think to ask what are their biggest challenges? Or what are some of their challenges? Oh, I think we lost her. So Z says what her values are: flexibility, collaboration, and partnership. And Cheryl says values room for self-care and leisure, flexibility, collaboration. Aaliyah says work values, support with the ability, collaboration and independence, no micromanaging. However, there's a knowing, you got me and I got you. And Cheryl says, what is a question you may ask networking? Okay, that's the question that was asked by Valerie. Valerie came into the space.
So let's see in here, even if you're not super clear, because I got stuck on this, not because I don't know how to be or engage with people, but I'm more in the moment oriented. And that determines what I ask people based on the exchange and the energy that I pick up from them. I don't ask everybody, how can we build or how can we stay in touch? I have to feel them out to see if that is something that I want to do. But I'm curious, like folks in this space, like, what are some things that you want to ask of folks? And one of the things, Valerie, you touched upon it. And like I said, I just experienced it a few days ago. I have said in this space too, that I made up that if someone is a celebrity, if they're well known, that I don't want to be one of those people that's like pulling at them. I was in a space with someone who's very well known a couple of days ago. And, I was going into that space being conscious not to be like, oh, they're in their face, because I saw so many people doing that. And I had to tell myself, like, what does that have to do with me? I'm not like that. I'm like, I don't want to be viewed as an opportunist, as someone that's trying to use somebody. It's like, you're not that. So why are you making that up? So if you go up to her and speak, that you're coming from a space of authenticity and a desire to actually have a connection and having things in mind about how to leverage the relationship from a space of a foundation of opportunity and integrity. And she actually came over to me before I could go over to her. And she was like, I spoke this weekend and she was like, you were awesome. What's your number? I was like, oh, okay. And I'm like, let me stop acting shocked about that too. So I was saying before you came back in, Val, that yes. I switch up. It depends on the exchange. And I'm also working on myself, coaching myself around that fallacy that I'm bugging somebody or that I'm, what's the word? There's a thing about fans and I can't think of it right now. I don't want to be a groupie or somebody that's trying to siphon off energy.
Yes, it's great. And excuse me, of course, my sister who calls me every day just called. It's great to get over yourself and to recognize that the person that you may have those thoughts around, like they're too far out of my reach, are human beings with a pulse and a heart, right? So that allows you to step to folks and engage, right? So before I got cut off, I'm just going to share these with you. I don't know how our time is. Questions to ask when you're networking, because oftentimes the question may be, what do you do, right? And you could put in the chat if there's any question that comes to your mind, but these are some questions to consider. If you have a pen, you might want to write them down. One question is, what inspires you, right? What inspires you? What moves you? Right? Another question is, what can't you stop talking about? I like that question, right? So there's questions that we can ask people outside of, so what do you do? Right? You're asking them, who are they? Who are they being? What's important to them? Right? So those are some questions I just wanted to mention. I'm gonna see if there's anything else. What lights you up is another question, right? So those are questions you might want to take on. And this is meeting people for the first time, networking, engaging, nice ways to engage people, right? So again, that I just wanted to mention that. And then the one question to ask if you're networking, one question to ask somebody, you are at the end of your conversation and they've said, well, thanks so much for coming, for meeting with me. You're like, thank you so much. The one question you want to make sure you ask, and by the way, they say, well, you know what? I really love your services. I love what you have to offer, but I'm not really sure that I'm interested in hiring you as a consultant right now. What is a question you would ask them after that? Or what might you say to them after that?
So, yeah, that people are thinking about that question.
Okay, so I'm gonna say one thing. There's other things you can say, right? But one thing you might say is, and you know what? For some of you who are trying to get it right, don't worry about it. It's all good. What did Tanine say?
Oh, what is the alternative to get you there?
What is the alternative to get you there? I'm not sure I understand.
So I think if
is she saying what might I do differently to have you take me on?
Actually, I'm sorry. The question would be if the person says they're not interested in hiring me at the moment or us. I was thinking my next question would be, because I'm invested in where people want to go in their own lives.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what's the alternative to get you where you want to be? Something like that. So I was coming from that place.
I understand. All right. So asking them, how else might you get to where you want to go? If you're not hiring me, what other alternatives do you have? Or I'm curious to know what other alternatives you have.
Yes.
That's a bold question. Yes, that's a bold question. Another question might be to add to that is, do you know anyone else who you think might be interested in my services, right? So if they're not interested or able, and they say that they really thought what you had to offer was amazing, do you know anyone else who might be interested in my services? All right, so those are two questions that you might ask somebody upon concluding a networking conversation.
Cheryl said, Cheryl's contribution is, what are you looking for?
Yes, because what does that do? When you ask that question, what does that have them do?
Cheryl, can you come off of mute? There she goes.
I thought that was a rhetorical question. I'm sorry. That has them assess what it is that I'm bringing versus what it is they're looking for, so they can decide if it, they can look at it real clearly, lay it next to each other to see if there's a match.
Yes, and it also has you say, oh, maybe that's something I need to talk, because it could be something that you actually can do, but you miss saying it. Or it could be something that you want to do and you say, note to self, I need to get some training in that area, because that seems to be something that folks want. So thank you, Cheryl.
Got it. Thank you.
Yes. A no is still an education, right? So whatever you can get from that experience, you want to pull from that experience. You don't want to leave that experience without having thought about something that you gained from it, right? And if you can hear it from the person's mouth who you're talking to, what it is that they want, if it's not what you have to offer, that's a great learning opportunity. Yes, so thank you for that. All right, let's go back to our slide for a minute. And go to the next. Right, so this is, I use the POWER acronym, and we talked a lot about this in this session, so I'm just gonna go through it, right? Power, are you living in your power? This is all about networking, but it's also about just being. Are you living inside your purpose, your passion, what your passionate purpose, what your passion is passionate about, what your purpose is, are you living inside of that? Prototype means doing different things. Sometimes we get our purpose, passion from doing different things. Not everybody is in touch with their purpose or passion. They get their purpose and passion through trying different things, right? And then, oh, we talked about opportunity, right? Really listening for opportunity, seeing where the opportunities lie. That's what happens when you're networking, when you're actively listening to what's available. And then doing the work, right? It's a lot of internal work. We talked about forgiveness, giving up the past, right? Loving on ourselves, developing our relationship with ourselves. This is internal work. It's not all about, sharpening our pitch, right? And embracing who we are. We talked about that too. Embracing yourself, forgiving yourself, getting over yourself, right? Not second guessing yourself or second guessing yourself and then giving it up, right? And then the idea of R, reaching out to others. Networking is about connection. It's about first connecting with yourself, being really true to who you are. We talked about that too, being your authentic self, which allows you the opportunity to reach out and engage others with authenticity, not with a salesy pitch, right? But with authenticity and sharing who you are and being curious about who they are, all right? Anyone have any comments about that? Tanine, you have a question?
Yes, thank you so much for sharing that. Who I really am is, I'm the person who I allow things to happen. I let it come to me. I always meet strangers. I always talk to people because I love people. So I'm always meeting people, but I'm more, I guess I could call it passive in my approach. And I'm using that word specifically just to explain my personality. I am introverted by nature. I don't seem introverted, but I am. And I look to see what's present in the conversation to see if it'll lead to maybe this person may need my service or my product, or maybe they will know someone, because people talk about what matters to them, their families, themselves, their kids, their pets. But I don't necessarily talk to people to give them something or sell them something. I talk to people just to share in the moment. And I've been told by some of my more forward, bold friends that may not be effective, but I just heard you say, be authentically you. That's who I am.
Right. Well, listen to this. You're the one that measures your effectiveness. Right? You're the one that measures your effectiveness. And so I don't know how you measure your effectiveness, but the deal is that we all present differently. So people have their opinions and they have a right to have an opinion upon how one should present themselves. But when it comes to effectiveness, that's your domain. Right? And the other thing about introvert, extrovert, these are all labels. You know what? They don't mean a daggone thing to me. They don't mean a thing to me. I'm a recovering shy person, right? I get shy sometimes. I have my introverted side to me at times, but I get over myself. Big deal, right? So yeah, be who you are, and then measure your effectiveness. How does that if you're talking about your business, how does that translate into opportunities? Whether it's connections, gigs, how does that show up, right? So we need to really, I think it helps for us to understand, because I love people too. And I've had to really be intentional and discerning about what groups am I going to connect myself with, because I love people, so I can get fascinated with people. I've had to discern to what extent is this group bringing me value, because I'm always going to bring value. That's who I am, right? So these are the things for us to discern for ourselves. All right. I think we have one more piece. I may skip the next. Let's see the next one. Yeah, this is the last segment. And I think there was a link that was placed in the chat that may be broken. So I need to fix that so that people can get this information. This is an intentional networking approach, an approach to being intentional about networking, right? And it has us look at each day, Monday, right? Thank somebody. On Monday, just thank somebody that's helped you, that supported you, that's loved you, that's opened up a door for you, that makes you feel good about being alive, right? Just thanking people. If you do nothing more than thank somebody, you're good, because that just opens up so much love to be poured out to you, right? By the way, this was taken from Michelle Warner, who does a course called Networking That Pays. Tuesdays when you want to connect people that you believe should know each other. So there's people in your network who you may think would benefit from connecting with each other. So this is when you want to do a virtual introduction, to assist them with connecting with each other. On Wednesdays, when you want to build your network, that's when you want to reach out to that person who seems far outside of your reach, right? Someone who's doing great things that you admired for years, but you just felt like, you know what? I can't connect with them. Do it, because you're not attached to the result. It's the effort and the action. That's what's up, right? And then Thursday is you make a powerful request, right? So this is when you want to reach out to someone who's already in your network, someone you've already developed a relationship with, and make a powerful request in an attempt to build your network, right? You might want to ask for referrals, or you might want to request to collaborate or partner on a project, ask them out for a coffee date. That's what you want to do, right? And then Friday, you're just catching up with folks. People that have been on your heart, on your mind, that you just not reached out to, right? I got to call Judy. That's an old friend of mine. I haven't talked in a minute. Texting her, that doesn't work, right? So think about someone in your life who you have not reached out to. Could be a friend, could be a family member, could be a colleague. Just reach out and catch up, because life happens, it's so fast, and before you know it, a year has passed, right? So this is a model that you can use to guide you in your networking, and it's really being very intentional, okay? And again, I have a handout that I will make sure I fix the link so you can get that. Okay, and I think we're wrapping up. Let's see. I wrote a book, Power Networking from the Inside Out, where your career and your well-being meet. I believe my contact information is going to be in the chat. It's definitely on the next slide. Yes, I wrote a book about it. Okay, you're welcome, Laura Clark. I see your chat come up. Okay, and then our next slide. I think that's
before we go there, I think Tanique had a question.
Yes.
Or is that an old message?
No, that's all. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
All right, so, I hope this made a difference to you. This made a difference to me. And I want to give you a special offer. One participant will receive a complimentary copy of my book. I just need your address, your mailing address, your name and your mailing address. And I think I chose the number 3. So whoever the third person was that came into the room.
We're not going to actually know the third person came into the room because there were 10 people at least lined up and everybody came in at the same time. Mm-hmm. So what I can do is to count 3 from the top, and that would
Okay.
be Andrea Fisher.
I don't know if Andrea's still here.
Andrea, well, yeah, I'm looking at her name. She's here. So Andrea,
Yay!
come off of mute and say that you are present and accept. Andrea Fisher.
Yes, ma'am. Good morning, great morning, Grand Rising. How are you?
Good morning, Andrea Fisher. So you have you have been gifted a free copy, a complimentary copy of my book. I would love to share that with you. And I need, would you accept this offer?
Yes, ma'am, with a lot of gratitude and gratefulness and blessings. Thank you so much. I can't,
That's wonderful.
words can't express how I feel right now.
Well, you just warmed my heart, and thank you.
Thank you.
You can share your, maybe you can email me. Maybe that might work best, to email me.
Yes, I shall email you one.
Yes, your
ma'am.
address, and I will get that out to you. You will get it shortly. So excited.
Thank you.
About that. Yes. And another offer that I have is a 45-minute discovery coaching, a complimentary 45-minute discovery coaching session for the first 5 participants that email me. And you're going to see my email address come up, but it's VALJLyons, valjlyons@gmail.com. The first 5 people that email me before the end of the day, Facebook, when you're watching, receive a complimentary discovery session from me. So I look forward to that. And you can find me on Facebook, Valerie.Lyons56, Valerie.Lyons.56. But if you search Valerie Lyons, you'll find me. I'm on Instagram at ValJLyons, @ValJLyons. I have a link. And again, you can email me at valjlyons@gmail.com. And my website, if you search Valerie Lyons, you'll find my website, www.ValerieJLyonsEnterprises.com is my contact information. My website, yes. And for those who choose to provide a love offering and donation, you can do so. This is for the admin folk. And for me, you can go to Zelle, QuickPay, and that's the email address that you can utilize. So leadershipdevelopment@gmail.com, and then Cash App is the $ spirit of a woman, right? So you can definitely do that and use the code number 500VL. Your generous contributions are appreciated.
Awesome. So there's other ways to donate. You can directly share with Valerie, but you can also create a monthly subscription. So you can choose from $25, $50, $75, $100 a month. You follow the links that's dropped in the chat and set it and forget it.
Yes.
On Sunday, we have on Sunday, May 22nd, we have Jubilee Ransom sharing her topic, The Crisis and the Crown Masterclass. That's very intriguing. I wonder what that's about.
That's interesting.
New members, I'm sure you're out there. You always are. We keep attracting and manifesting new dynamic people. So I don't want you to go hiding. Come out into the open and say, hey, yep, it's me, I'm new. And then watch the Woo community center around you and welcome you. We want you to come back, and we want you to bring your friends. We're here Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday from 7 to 8:30, and Monday and Wednesday from 7 to 7:30. So that's 5 days a week that you can get more and more juiciness. We're in Zoom for those times, and we're also streaming live on Facebook. So those of you who want to catch the replay or be live, be on the other side, because you can't come inside of Zoom, that's fine. You can be on Facebook. And if you want the extra added layer of being invited into the space, because maybe you need that a reminder, you can fill out this text alert. It's automated text alert. Open up, you can do it right now. So open up your phone to blank text, type in 74121, and in the comment section, type Woo Nation, press send, and boom, you're done. We have swag. So you can visit our store at bit.ly/Woo Swag. You're going to find there thermos, mugs, laptop sleeve, bag, journal, mask, t-shirts, sweatshirts, colors, sizes, anything that you're looking for to use and to represent Woo, you can get there. So go to bit.ly/Woo Swag and get your swag today. And stay in touch. So don't just leave and then forget about us, because again, we're here. You want to register every week. When you register, you get an email that will let you know who's coming up and what they're talking about, and on any other special offer or invitation. So you would then go to bit.ly/Wake Up Movement, just put that in the browser and register every week. Put your name and other details in. We have 2 Facebook pages. One is private, one is public. So the private page is where we go live, and you would need to, if you're not there already, you want to go to bit.ly/Woo Community, fill out a little form, and then somebody will admit you in. We also, our public page is the fan page. So you go to bit.ly/Woo Nation, and that's uppercase Woo Nation, and just click like, so that if any notification goes on there, you'll be notified in your Facebook notifications thingamajiggy. We are Instagram at Wake Up Everybody Virtual. If you follow us, you can see the flyers posted. And we have YouTube, bit.ly/Woo on YouTube. And our email, of course, is info.wakeupseries@gmail.com. Send us your thoughts, comments, suggestions. And I will invite you to use that same email to say, hey, you know what? This is really good stuff, and I'm ready to volunteer. So we are ready for you to volunteer. Our doors are open. Our doors are open, and we need you. So there's lots and lots of things to do. All of that you see is it's a movement behind the scenes. So it takes people, your people, and I was thinking this morning about some things that you could do in 10 minutes. And one of those things is creating a poll for Zoom. So, you know, we have a couple of facilitators who like polls. I'm not mentioning any names, Martine, but okay. And it takes something to put that in Zoom. Is really easy. It just takes, you know, it's really 5 or 10 minutes. And I'm looking for someone else to do that. And what was the other thing? Okay, I can't remember it, but just know that there's little things like that that you can do if you don't have a full hour or a full 2 hours to do something like creating slides. You can do some other stuff. So please, info.wakeupseries@gmail.com. And now I'm going to stop the share. I'm going to ask you all to unmute, and we can give Valerie our love shower.
Valerie, this was really great. This is Sahu speaking. Thank you so much. I was on, what is it called? Facebook. And I just came back on here just to say thank you so much. I got so much out of it. Thanks again.
You're welcome. Thank you, honey. Thank you so much.
Thank you for being an employment coach. I never thought there's trauma with employment, but it really is. And I'm thinking of all the traumas I experienced in the workforce. I hope to be reaching out to you. I need some healing.
Reach out. I'm here. Thank you so much. Thank you so very much.
Thank you, Valerie. You're awesome. Thank you. Appreciate you. You did a fabulous job. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Let's move forward, everybody.
Adam.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Valerie. Thank you. Peace and blessings.
La 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 woo woo. Yeah.
Thank
you. La 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 woo.
Love y'all. Y'all have a blessed
Hi, Miss Shawnee. How are you?
Thank you all so much. This is so amazing, so wonderful. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Great.